My 34 female boyfriend, 38, quit his full-time job over a year ago because he didn't like it. He now works a cleaning job for 2 hours a night that pays him enough to, in his words, barely get by. His sister, 49, recently moved back from overseas and lives with him. She's unemployed as well and also doesn't want to work. So my boyfriend pays for everything and is supporting her. How, I do not know. But it bothers me because I feel he's freeloading off of me and subtly taking advantage of me now. For example, when we go grocery shopping, he asks to put his groceries in my car and pay for our groceries together. I'm afraid of arguing with him over money because he's easily offended and sensitive, based on past conversations about money, so I just say sure. Then I have to tally up what he owes me. I have 2 outstanding tabs for him. I once sent him the Excel sheet of the breakdown and he made fun of me and called me a Jew. I am not Jewish. He stays over at my apartment every weekend. Even before his sister moved in with him, he wouldn't want me to come to his apartment on weekends. This all started after he quit his job. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I really think like he wants to be at my place just so he can freeload off of my cable and food so he doesn't have to use up what he has at home. I finally said something after our recent trip to the grocery store. He picked out shampoo and a candle for his sister and paid for them alone, but he put groceries in my basket. So when he left my apartment, I took his food out of the freezer and asked him to pay me back for this stuff. He said in a joking, whiny voice, "I'm poor." And I said, "Obviously you're not that poor if you buy your sister candles." He immediately got mad at me and said I was nasty. But I'm fed up. It's ridiculous now. Am I the idiot for making that comment to him? He still didn't pay me back, by the way. Edit, financially he was not like this with me before. He would support the sister in the past when she would call him crying about being broke or whatever, but because it never affected my finances, I minded my business. Not the idiot, but I don't understand why you're still with this nasty loser. Is this really what you want your life to be like? He's blatantly mooching off of you, unapologetically no less, yet you're still with him? I'm afraid of getting into an argument with him over money because he's easily offended and sensitive. What the heck, girl? It's your money. Why are you not establishing and maintaining boundaries? Are you a masochist? Are you so insecure that you think you can't find a better man? No relationship is 100% better than existing in a dysfunctional relationship that wears you and your bank account down. Exactly. As I read this, I wondered how OP finds this person attractive. So many red flags. So many. This relationship has no future without pulling their weight in deep communication. The answer isn't always breaking up, but in this case, run. This person doesn't want a partner, they want a mommy. For him and his sister. Or are we 100% that it's actually his sister? Are we absolutely sure he actually doesn't work? Red flag gas that he doesn't want OP in his place. This could all be way worse. Oh dear, this might be so true. I didn't think of it, but I'm afraid you're right. I wanted to see if someone else said it first. Not wanting OP at his place, staying over on weekends, and buying his sister gifts, the shampoo and candle, that sounds more like a girlfriend or wife to me. If she's not going to his place regularly, it's because there is something to hide there. When she has been at his, it's probably when the wife was on vacation or work trips or visiting family. OP, wake up. He's not living with his sister. It's his wife or ex and you're the side piece. That's why you're never over to his place. Instead, you're buying his stuff so he doesn't have money going missing that his wife will discover. You need to drop him like the lump of lead he is. I'm pregnant with my 3rd boy and final baby. Sure, a girl would have been sweet, but it's not something that matters to me. But ever since I told my sister the gender, she's become a bit mean with the way she talks about my children. She also keeps begging me to try again after my 3rd just in case I have a girl because girls are such a blessing. I don't disagree, I'm quite happy with my own little blessings. My sister still acted normal though, so when she invited me and my family over, we went. But when we got there, my eldest ran to her for a hug and she brushed him off and started scolding him for not asking first. But this is their thing. He always runs up to her for a hug when he sees her, and my sister has never discouraged it before. He doesn't just go around hugging random people either. Apart from me, she also invited her friends. None of them have kids except my sister and one other who's pregnant. She started telling her pregnant friend the pros and cons of each gender, but for boys, the only pro she put was, well, he won't suffer as much as a girl will. I don't think she's wrong about this, but my issue was that her making this the only good thing about having a boy. The cons she put in were wild too, like they're all borderline sociopathic, or you'll turn into a weird boy mom, and similar. She also talked about how women unconsciously don't want boy babies, and our bodies try to fight off a pregnancy if it's a boy. But what made me angry was her villainizing my kids. She picked apart the hugging incident and talked about my other son being too confident in himself, but my eldest one being shy is an issue too, because apparently a toddler has ulterior motives. She then talked about how my third was going to be just as bad. After all, it's a boy, but maybe that's a good thing. I doubt the baby would matter much if it was a girl, since you already have your special little boys. Even her friends looked uncomfortable when she started analysing me and my kids. I just kind of went, "What's wrong with you?" She looked a bit taken aback by my tone, but I told her that I understand that boys get a better start in life just because of their gender, but my kids are still under the age of 5 and haven't done anything to make her act like such a witch towards them. So I told her to take her anger out on men that deserve it, unless of course she's only this brave when it comes to kids who can't fight back. In that case, how is she any better than a man? My sister was upset and argued that my reaction was proof of what she was saying, and I was acting just like a crazy boy mom because I couldn't handle a little criticism. The only person on my side is her pregnant friend, who revealed she's pregnant with a boy, plus one other friend. My sister thinks I should apologise for insulting her when she's right. I want another opinion. Edit, she has a daughter and no sons. But she's married to a man, happily from what I can see and what she tells me. I'm very inclined to believe that this is a me problem, because she was perfectly fine till I told her my third's a boy, and I'm done after him. I just kind of went, "What's wrong with you?" This is the understatement of the century. What is wrong with her to suddenly make her hate boys so much? And why is she so obsessed with your pregnancy? If it was a girl, is she unable to have children of her own? There are much deeper issues going on with your sister. This behaviour is not normal. Not the idiot. Honestly, your reaction was quite mild. Agree. The fact that she didn't end up with natural blue eyeshadow around her eyes tells me you are the mature one in your sibling relationship. The nerve to talk that way about innocent little boys that just wanted a hug from their aunt. Despicable. My speculation? Sister wanted a boy and didn't get one, so now she's insulting boys to make herself feel better. That, or she's just a straight-up nasty person. On top of that, OP isn't trying for a girl, so her sister has decided this means that daughters aren't special. So sister is taking "I'm done with pregnancies" to mean boys are better than girls, and then reacting to her own internal narrative. I'm a male teen. I'm smart and I know it. I'm not trying to brag or be narcissistic. I used to be part of the school's gifted program, did all the extension classes in my previous high school years, and won an award for having the best grades in maths. Although I never ever do my homework. I find homework stupid and I just don't like to work after school. I know all the content and could teach myself if I wanted to. The teachers usually just accept this since my grades are stellar despite not doing homework. However, I have this one teacher, Mr. M, for history, and last week he requested us to write an essay for our homework, which is due Monday. Needless to say, I obviously didn't do it. I could reproduce the best essay in the class right before him if he asked, but I didn't want to do my homework. And so he asks, "Responsible drop 8131, where's your homework? You haven't submitted it." I didn't expect him to care so much about that stupid essay, but he asked if I'd done it. I lied and said I did, and then he asked me to show it. I said I hadn't started, and he told me I would fail the exam because I didn't do my homework, because this essay was so important. I told him I'd been getting A+ in everything in this class, and said I could write an essay right now to show him that I can do it, but he said I need to put effort outside of school. I think that's ridiculous. School should just be for learning. But he said I had to do the essay by the end of the day. I didn't want to do it, so I didn't do it because teachers can't force you to do homework and work outside of school. Today, he asked me where my submission was, and I stood up to him and said I'm not going to write the essay because working out of school hours is a pain, and it's ridiculous. Then he said he would contact my parents and that I needed to have a better attitude towards my learning, and that I would not do well if I didn't do this important essay. Then this airheaded girl beside me told me to get off my high horse. I told her if anyone was going to fail the exam it was her because she always gets 50s on everything, despite colour-coding her notes in little pink highlighters. Mr. M got mad at me for telling her that and said he doesn't take that attitude in his classroom and said he would contact my parents due to not completing the essay. I think it's unfair for him to demean my intelligence and tell me I won't do well when I'm its best student. Still, I might be the idiot for not doing the work I was supposed to and calling that girl dumb. Rightfully so. You are the idiot. You'll do fine still doing the bare minimum. Good luck with that attitude later in school, work life and personal life. You're going to need it, as you'll compete with others just as smart as you, but with better habits and attitudes. Agree. You were a disrespectful snot to the teacher, you made an idiot of yourself in front of the class, and then you launched a personal attack on a classmate who just wanted you to knock it off. I guarantee you no one is impressed by your behaviour. And if you were my kid and I got a call from a teacher about that kind of conduct, I would be deeply disappointed in you. No amount of intelligence justifies your behaviour. Dude, I was like this in school too. I never studied because I didn't have to. Failed at uni. Had no idea how to study and get motivated to work out of uni hours because I'd never had to do it before. It sucked. If you want to go to uni, get out of this mindset before it's too late. I, 38 female, work at a tech company where my boss, 29 female, is actually younger than me. She was promoted to senior engineer and manager relatively quickly due to her strong working relationship with the former manager. I joined the team a few months to a year after she became a manager as a senior engineer. The team comprises young people, including my boss and 3 male engineers in their late 20s or early 30s. We have daily meetings where my boss and other team members share personal information about their weekend activities, including going to bars and bottomless brunches, and they often use profanity. I find this unprofessional. During a recent one-on-one meeting, my boss asked me if I had anything to discuss. I told her that her brazen talk about her party life made me uncomfortable and that it was not a good look for a young woman in tech who has risen through the ranks quickly. She apologized and said she would create a more comfortable environment during meetings. I asked her if she really goes out that much during the weekends. She told me that she and her fiancé live in LA and don't have many responsibilities besides wedding planning and their dogs, so they enjoy going out and exploring the city. I advised her to focus on more meaningful things instead of running around town drinking. I asked what her fiancé's parents thought of her lifestyle. She thanked me for the advice but didn't answer my question and immediately changed the topic to work. The next day, her boss put a meeting on my calendar and told me that my behaviour was inappropriate and that I couldn't make team members uncomfortable. Apparently, she'd run to him and snitched on me. He said that my boss had agreed to tone down the talk of her personal life on weekends, but my behaviour wasn't up for discussion or debate. He warned that if I do this again, it could result in a case with HR. Feeling attacked and unfairly treated, I talked with the product manager about it, but he thinks I'm being the idiot. But tell me, why is it okay for her to create an unprofessional and uncomfortable environment, but when I match the energy and speak openly, I'm the idiot? So, am I the idiot? You are the idiot. You're being an incredible busybody and you're doing it in a way that is amazingly blind to implications for your continued employment. You took it upon your inimitable self to lecture your boss about her private life, seemingly jealously to boot, and how your boss should run her meetings. How much of this is simply because your boss is 9 years younger than you? LOL, this is a doozy. What makes OP think she has the right or the authority to lecture anyone, let alone her boss, on her personal life? Who asked for OP's opinion? You didn't give her advice. You chewed her out and criticised her for her choices after saying she would tone down her sharing. You are pulling a power play because you are insecure. Envy is not a good look. Wow. Advice? You just shamed her for her lifestyle, which is none of your damn business. Stop acting like being 39 is some magical number where you know everything. I'm also a 39-year-old female and would never be such an idiot. This weekend is my senior prom. Until 2 weeks ago, I was planning on going with my girlfriend, but things ended abruptly, so that's not happening. Unfortunately, this happened after the tickets were bought, so I had to find someone else to accompany me. That next week, I found a girl who wanted to go as friends with me, so I gave her the extra ticket. As I said, I was the one to buy prom tickets, and I did so with my own money. I also hadn't given my ex one of them by the time we decided not to go together, so I had my hands on both of them. To me, I thought this meant I had no obligation to give her the ticket. She never laid hands on them. So after one of her nosy friends found out I'd asked someone else, word got around to her and she wasn't happy. She said the ticket I bought was for her, so it should be hers. I argued that since I bought it and never gave it to her, it was still my ticket. She said that was unfair as she bought a dress and everything to attend the prom, and now, a week out, she doesn't have a ticket, and since the deadline has passed, she can't get one. I told her that I was sorry, but I already gave the ticket away, and it felt wrong telling this new girl that she couldn't go to prom since my ex wanted the ticket. She had a screaming fit telling me I was being an idiot and I was doing this to spite her, which is untrue. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You bought it, you do what you want with it. She can go touch grass for the night instead. And OP, you don't owe her an apology either. From the sound of it, she broke up with you. She made this mess. Don't interact with her anymore and go and have fun. Sounds like she was planning on OP begging her to come back. You know how high school girls are. They like the drama of breaking up and getting back together. However, everyone's the idiot here, and this is why schools need to have exceptions to when tickets can be purchased for situations like this. She's now going to miss her prom, which is a very big deal. I know of some schools that make each student buy their own ticket for this very reason. And if dating someone from a different school, you need to get an exception. Yeah, I don't know, you could be right, but I can't help but disagree. The entire tone of the story is that this situation was just dropped on the OP. He stated the sudden breakup, her claiming that OP was reacting out of spite. This all says he was planning to still be with this girl, and she apparently wanted to be single for prom and thought he would give her the ticket.